All right, question 12. It looks a little scarier, but really, please don't let this one freak you out. It says to determine the smallest integer that makes this inequality, negative 4x plus 8 minus 3x less than 22, true. What this is asking you to do is first you got to solve for x, and then we're going to talk about, all right, what is the smallest integer, that means negative or positive whole number, that I'll be allowed to put in for x that makes it true. So first thing we got to do, let's solve for x and then come back to really answering the question later. So here I already rewrote the problem, negative 4x plus 8 minus 3x less than 22. And let's just go ahead and solve it. Here, I recognize I've got like terms in my negative 4x and my negative 3x. So we're going to go ahead and combine those like terms. Negative 4x minus 3x is going to become negative 7x, negative 4 plus negative 3. And then I just keep that 8 and keep that less than 22 over there. And let's keep going. I want to get the x all alone, so let's start by subtracting 8 from both sides. I've got negative 7x less than 22, take away 8. That's going to be 14, which is nice because I've got a 7 over here. I have to end up dividing by the negative 7 to get x alone. Divide by negative 7. These will cancel. I've got x left on the left side. When I divide by a negative to both sides, when I multiply or divide by a negative to both sides, I must flip my inequality sign. So it becomes x is greater than 14 divided by negative 7. Positive divided by a negative will be a negative. 14 divided by 7. Negative 2. So that is my inequality solution, but let's check, what is the question asking again? Determine the smallest integer that makes this inequality true. Well, we just simplified that inequality, and I want to find the smallest integer that I'm allowed to be here. Well, x can be greater than negative 2. So it could be 5 or 18 or 23, and all of those are integers, but I want the smallest integer. And it might help if we just draw a little number line here to kind of display it. It's not that big of a deal. I'll draw negative 2, maybe negative 3 here, negative 1, 0, 1. That should be enough. I'll put the open circle on negative 2. X can be bigger than negative 2, so it could be 0 or 1 or negative 1. So I'll color into the right over here. And then I want the smallest integer. So the smallest integer that's on the colored in bit, I see a negative 2 here, but it can only be bigger than, it can't be equal to. I don't have the equal to sign below it, and it's not colored in. So I go to the next smallest one bigger. The smallest integer that x would be allowed to be is right here. It is negative 1. So the smallest integer would be negative 1. If this is a 2-point question, all this work here will get you half the credit if it's all perfect, 1 point. But then you got to answer the actual question they're asking. The smallest integer you could possibly be is negative 1. That's as low as you can go while staying in that colored in part, because that circle is not colored in. So my smallest integer, the correct answer for this at the end, is negative 1.